This is a live prepper here. The World of Joan. Now, I was watching an old science fiction movie from the 50s or something like that. Matter of fact, it was in 58. The Fiend Without the Face. But I got thinking that a lot of people think preppers run around, of course, with aluminum hats on, and they prep because they believe the aliens, the space creatures are coming. The bottom line, this is it. We are definitely not alone in the universe or countless universes. Depends on whether you believe in God or not, but it says God is all eternal. The thing is, no matter how much science breaks it down to that one cell that came in waters and started, where did that one cell come from? No matter how they can break it down and say how the planet was created, still the question is, where did that planet come from? The point is, it exists. It's there. It is. Air we breathe is there. Plants is here. Water is here. The sun, the moons. We're all here. Do I believe that there is other beings out there? Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. I think we're foolish to think that we're the only ones. And I also have my theories about things. I believe that the churches, they have been around here for thousands and thousands of years, and there's different ones as well as around the world that have knowledge of subspecies, as you can put it, or other beings that is kept hidden away because they feel mankind can't handle it. Mankind don't need to know about it. And they're right about it, really, when it comes down to it, because most people's brains can't handle it. You've heard and you've seen stories read, you've even seen some old documentaries, some movies where they would talk to Crazy Joe or Crazy Jane or whatever, and they seen something they couldn't explain, a Yeti or a snowman or whatever, a werewolf, anything. They couldn't explain what the creature was. There is myths and legends all around the world. And these people just, it absorbed them so bad. And they tried to tell a story. People just thought they was crazy. I mean, it just messed with them. I mean, it's just bottom line. Now, how much is real and how much is fiction is who knows, because our mind can play a lot of tricks on us. So do you believe that there is other aliens? And we do all these movies showing space aliens and all this stuff. And vampires. There's people who believe they exist. But they romance these things. They're just, oh, so suave and beautiful and breathtaking. And they just call you into them. And then they suck your blood, your dinner, your food to them. Even though they might have been human beings once, they're no longer true human beings because they suck on human blood. Same way with werewolves. Werewolves has been around since countless time. Now, there's different versions of legends. Some of them say they live internally, just like vampires do, but they can be killed by this and this and this. Or they just age normally and then they change when the moon's full or whatever. A lot has been changed over the years, centuries, by stories and movies and stuff like that, which is, you don't know if it's true or not true. I ask people, so which would you be, a vampire or a werewolf? People says I'd rather be a vampire to live forever. I said, most of them, one or two say werewolf. I said, why wouldn't you want to be a werewolf? Well, I don't think I want something like that to go around and just ripping things up. I'd rather be the werewolf. Be able to live a normal life, basically. Go out in nature. Holler at the moon. Do my animal thing, whatever it is. Away from people. You see werewolf movies where they show them, they chain them up during the full moon thing to keep them from hurting other people because they don't want to hurt people. But there's good and bad and everything. the Greek gods Zeus and Apollo and all the other Ares and all of them. My son and I had a discussion about them. I've had a discussion with a couple others. They was revered as gods. And they came down here and made it with the humans. And the humans was like children. But the children eventually outgrow them. Just like anything else. How do we know that these beings, these gods, was all kin to each other? And they had these special abilities. How do we know that they did not come from another planet? How did we not know that they, whatever, maybe the planet was dying. Maybe they was kicked off the planet. Maybe they was criminals or whatever it is. But they just had these unique special abilities that developed over the centuries or whatever. And when they got here to this planet, they seen all these humans as children. And they let it all go to their head. They become gods and goddesses. How do we know this? Again, you get back to the churches. They hide things. They have knowledge and information on things that they don't want people to know about. Like, let's say demons. Demons out there. You say, you have people that they put them in Looney Tunes because they're crazy because they see demons. They see this demon that was doing something to a human being and just blew their mind. When they told people about it, they was gone. So they think preppers see space aliens. They think preppers sees monsters all around the corners. Is what they think. So maybe it's true in some cases. Maybe something happened to a person in their life that created such an overload in their brain, their physical being, that they started prepping. They went and got out in the country somewhere, whatever, took their home, started barricading, changing things around, became very paranoid. Maybe they told the story about it and people just laughed about it, and they finally just quit talking about it and they started shutting themselves off. Maybe they just started keeping up information on all this stuff. Maybe that's why some of them do prep, because they do believe in these demons and these creatures and aliens from other planets. Maybe they do believe in that. Maybe that's why they prep. But not all preppers prep for that reason. All preppers got different reasons. Some of them believes it's due to the sun flares, what happened. Some of them believes due to the polar shift. Some believes to economic collapse. Some of them believes World War III is going to happen. Whatever reason it is, it's just countless reasons. But not all preppers prep because they believe in space aliens. They believe in what they choose to believe. But I do, in all honesty, believe that there is so many things out there we cannot explain that has been around since the beginning of time. I mean, you said, well, what about vampires? Well, according to the legends and stuff, when a vampire dies, he just totally dissolves. Poof, he goes in the dust, he blows away with the wind. What about werewolves? Well, according to that, they turn back to normal. They become human again. So you have no werewolf tracks. They're basically, there's a human laying there dead. There's been legends and stories of elephant graveyards that the elephants would go deep within the jungle into a place to die. And these great white hunters would be trying to find this elephant graveyard because it's filled with ivory tusks. I don't know if they've ever found it or not. Movies it talks about finding it. But something like it's very possible when you get deep, deep within the areas. A lot of the rainforest areas, a lot of the areas in the mountains of the United States, a lot of the areas in the other countries have not even been explored yet because the terrain is so rough and it don't suit the needs to corporations and stuff. But if the corporations decided they wanted it, they figure out how to get to it. But there's a lot of areas we don't know about. And things is getting discovered all the time. There was a temple in India several years back. It got discovered. That was way back in the jungle. It was like over 2,000 years old or something. They didn't even know it existed. It got discovered by chance. Way back there. These gods that these people worship, there's based on legend or whatever. It might have been made up. They might be fictional. And then again, they might be real at one time or another. Some of these animal-like creatures they worship. How we know they weren't from another planet? Maybe they was on a spaceship. These people come down on a spaceship and released this one creature, or the creature got away, or whatever. Man's been hunting game and animals since the beginning of time and taking and selling them. How we know we don't have something like that out there catching creatures around the world, and one or two gets away from time to time? We don't know. Preppers get a bad name. It's just bottom line. And they're going to say we prep for whatever reason. So, do you believe there's preppers out there who prep because they believe in space aliens and these creatures? Do you believe these creatures can exist alongside of us and we not be aware of it? Because these churches from centuries old, of different ones around the world, these religions, has kept these secrets hid. The government from around the world has these projects and these programs that keep hid so we don't know about it. And when somebody does discover it, all at once they're labeled crazy or get locked up or they're shipped off or something happens. They just kind of disappear a lot of times. So that's what I'm asking you. I believe we are not alone. I believe there is other universes and other life forms. Do they look like us? I don't know. I believe there's a possibility of different type of creatures existing on this planet that we are not aware of. Whether they are being kept hid and protected, or they're just in areas that we've not gotten to, or people, as a general rule, hasn't lived to see, to talk about it, whatever reason it is. I believe a lot of the legends was based on truth of something that existed at that time. And for whatever reason, whether it's like the vampires whose body just totally dissolves, like the werewolves who converts back to human, whatever reason, the bones and things disappear. In a general rule, in the wilderness, finding skeleton remains of animals is rare. And the reason for that is that other animals scavenge it. They spread the bones out. Many of them choose the bones up as food source because of the marrow in the bones. So I'm asking you, do you believe preppers believe in space aliens? Is that why you think we prep? Or do you believe in space aliens and other things out there, the unknown? Do you believe it's possible? I think it is. If we have closed minds, it's proven they discovered new species of dinosaurs all the time. They existed at one time. How we know they don't exist now? How we know that they're not in some isolated area? They find new species out there. They find species they thought was long since extinct. So how do we know? Maybe one of your classmates is a werewolf and you just don't know it. Maybe there are subhuman species and you don't know about it. There's a side that shows that we don't see about. Maybe there is aliens walking among us. We don't know about it. So that's what I'm asking you. Do you believe people prep because they believe in space aliens? Or do you just believe that there is the unknown out there and other creatures do exist? This is a live prepper here, the World of Joan. I want you to be safe, be happy. Bless you all.